All right, we should be live and direct. Let me make sure everything is working right. You know how it is, man. I have to go in and check everything. First of all, I want to say what's up, what's up. My name is Orville J. Parker, aka Coach. Guys, I'm the founder and creative director for Avatar Pop. I'm the founder of Creative Vibe, which is a small publishing company. And I'm also the founder and owner of Creative Vibe AI, which is a small software platform that I own. All right. So to get all that out, all right. So I am a full time entrepreneur who has been free from a job now for right at 3 years, and I run and operate several solopreneur businesses from the comfort of my home. That means I don't have any physical employees, and I put an emphasis on physical because I do have AI employees. All right. And so what I'm gonna do today, guys, is if you guys been following my content for a while, back in the day, man, I used to try to jump on here, man, and teach a lot and share a lot. But here recently, with me trying to figure out the next level on this publishing, and then later on this digital agency that I'm doing, um, I had to kind of pull back from the content like I was doing. I still post content, but I'm not teaching as much as I was teaching. But now I'm gonna get back and start teaching you guys some things. And this is what I want you to understand, man. And I want you guys to really get what I'm saying. You ever heard there's levels to the game? Okay. Now, if you're not out here and and let's say you're just walking around with ideas in your mind, you haven't tried to do anything, you haven't tried to act on any of your ideas. Before you think about making money, you got to figure out how to execute and start creating the process that's going to get you to make the money. And this is where I think a lot of people mess up and a lot of people drop the ball in because they don't understand that thing that I just said called process, right? See, what most of us do when we think about, okay, I want to create something, I want to start something that I can develop out that hopefully is going to give me some type of cash flow, some type of income with it. All right. We have a tendency, well, I don't say everybody, but some people have a tendency to overthink and think too crazy, too complicated, too big on things. And what that does is that always hinders them from taking action, man. They never execute. And then they look at the person that's executing and maybe executing in not the way that they think they should execute on. And a lot of times they look at that and they say, what are they doing? But I tell everybody, man, I will always, always choose imperfect execution over no execution. And this year, 2025, man, I've been telling everybody, it's the year, man. It's the year to put your head down and start building and figure some things out. Even if it doesn't manifest your ultimate goal, but this is the year, guys, where you have to have a paradigm shift. You have to start changing how you think about you, your life, and everything, man. Because when I say that our world has really changed, and the crazy thing is that a lot of people are operating like the world was 3 years ago, but we live in a total different world. And when it comes to things such as creating income, freedom, and just empowerment and things like that, man, nobody's going to give you anything anymore. And I'm going to tell you the reason why, because things are too easy for you to reach your hand out and grab. Nobody's going to waste time giving you anything. If you can't see it now, if you can't look at what you see out here and say that there's opportunity, then hey, that's on you. That's on you. Okay, I'm gonna have you guys hold on 1 minute. Hold on 1 minute. 1 minute. When I tell you guys that there is a lot of ways to get a dollar today, A lot of ways. And I'm gonna show you how. I'm gonna show you the difference on a hustler and an entrepreneur, how they think different than regular people. You know, one of the first things that I made sure that I figured out when I started messing online was how to get money, how to accept money, right? I was like, man, I can go out here and want to sell everything and anything, but I need to figure out first of all how to have somebody get some money to me. So I went out, man, and I started studying things such as PayPal, Stripe, Square, Venmo, merchant accounts, Cash App. Or you guys follow what I'm saying? Because I said, okay, before I even try to sell anything, let me figure out what this all about. Bitcoin, all right? You can move money through Bitcoin. A lot of people don't even really get that. You don't even have to accept payments in dollars. You can accept it in cryptocurrencies and keep it in cryptocurrencies. You could take those cryptocurrencies and invest with cryptocurrencies. You could buy with cryptocurrencies. You could put money into the system, turn it into cryptocurrencies, and that money never have to come back out as money again. And see, all this kind of stuff, when I was looking at the game, I said, okay, let me figure that out. And you know what was crazy? Once I started figuring out how to get money out of this box that we look at, whether it's your cell phone, your laptop, your computer, I started noticing other things. I started noticing how other people were making money. Because when I started studying how people were moving and pulling money out of the ecosystem of the digital space, I started seeing how people was making money. And then when I started looking at that, I was like, okay, all right, game on. I see that this ain't hard. I could sit down at my home. All right. I can use this multi-billion-dollar piece of technology called the internet. I could tap into multi-billion-dollar platforms such as Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and I could make money, right? And the way that I made a lot of my money online up until this year was buying and selling apparel. You guys remember that at Trade Hippo. I would go in and I would buy apparel for pennies on a dollar, like dollar and 50. Jerseys, all kind of things, right? And then I would bring this apparel home, clean it, grade it, and then put it on my eBay store. And I was shipping this stuff all over the globe, man. And it got to the point to where I had almost 2,000 items in the warehouse downstairs, with probably about 1,300 of them, 1,400 of them listed. And that was a very cool business, guys. It was a very cool business because that was pure e-commerce, right? But this is the thing. When I looked at that business, I said, this business doesn't make any sense, but it make all the sense in the world. Buy low, sell high. I took things that were supposed to be discarded and I turned that into cash flow. But the only problem I had with that business model at the end of the day, it required me to constantly trade time for dollars. Whenever I would go out and buy the inventory, man, I had to clean it. I had to sit down. I had to take pictures of all that inventory, measurements. I had to pack it inside of plastic bags and put it in my inventory system. And then when I sold, I had to pull it and ship it. So after a while there, I did that for almost 9 years from here in the house. You guys go back, look at my profile. You see all my pictures, me sharing all the different Nike stuff I was buying and all that kind of stuff. And and I started trying to figure out what we call a pivot. All right. How do I change? How do I try to do something else? And what I decided to do was I decided to take Trade Hippo and move it from a buy and sell company that was buying vintage items and things like that. And I moved into a different business model, which was an affiliate for the TikTok shop, right? So I started ordering in merchandise. And the way it works is that once you get accepted to the TikTok shop affiliate program, you can order any item off their marketplace. You can come home, you can go live, or you can make pre-recorded videos. And then they allow you to put what they call a shoppable link on your video. And so I moved from selling and flipping vintage clothing and apparel to flipping things on TikTok. But you know what I kept telling myself? I kept looking at it and I said, okay, you got a lot of people that are making good money. flipping on TikTok and doing a TikTok shop affiliate program. But I was like, there's still a lot of money on not flipping, but showing people how to flip it. And see, when I was at the job, man, I kept saying, okay, when I leave the job, I'm gonna start a publishing company, man. Because when I was younger, man, I used to read all the magazines. I used to go to the library, get all the business opportunity books. I love looking at all the books that would talk about alternative income streams and how to make money outside of a job. And so I told my wife this for years. You know, we've been married for 30 years. I kept telling her, I'm gonna start a publishing company. You know, I used to tell her, I love finding out ideals and concepts and learning about them, then sharing them with others. And up until now, I didn't see a real feasible way for me to do this on scale until I started looking at it differently, right? And so when I was doing the TikTok Shop affiliate program, I was working on putting together the concept and the idea for a publishing company. You know, at this time now, I was working with AI. I had started working on the software that I had licensed, so I was doing all that. And I said, okay, what I need to do now is I need to go ahead and launch this publishing company. Because one of the things that I understood from the get go was the people that have a tendency to make the most money are not the people that are looking for the gold, not the people that's digging the gold, but it's the people that sell the shovels to the people that's looking for gold. And so I kind of took that as a communication, and I looked at the whole internet and I said, yeah, you know, I can get out here and make money doing things, running businesses and launching these different services and all this kind of stuff. But what I love to do is research, figure things out, and then turn around and share that with others and teach and things like that. So, in preparation for this publishing company that I now have, I started working on a couple things. I started going live. I started doing a ton of video. If you go back and look at my Facebook profile, you go back like anywhere from like 8 months to a year or something ago, you're going to see a lot of videos. And I started recording a lot of videos, man, because I wanted to teach myself how to get on here and communicate and how to teach. Because I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna start this publishing company, if I need to be able to communicate this. And at that time, I wasn't gonna use any type of written or typed out. It wasn't gonna be any type, it was gonna be all video. And the reason being is because I could never sit down and write anything. I could never sit down and type out anything. You know, I would get started on something, man, and I couldn't finish it. So I was like, screw that. What I'm gonna do is I went out and studied how people were creating video courses. And I said, okay, that's gonna be my thing. I'll do all my trainings by video. And that's what I started working on. You know, I started jumping in, investing in different software, learning how to create things on video. Man, I got really good at it. See, I could do things like this, you know, talk to you about that. I could do things like this, share my my desktop. I can come back here. I could do this, man. I learned how to do presentations and stuff, all while on this video, right? And I said, okay, well, and I started working on putting together things. All right, got good at that. And I said, okay, well, I understand this video part now. All right, I could make video courses. I could do that. But what I didn't have down pack yet that I was wanting to learn was I knew that there was another piece of the money that I wasn't going to be able to get unless I went in and conquered and dominated and overcame this other thing. And that was typed format, printed format, ebooks, books, reports. There was a lot of money in digital publications. You don't believe me? Go to Amazon. Look at what they do. They sell a physical book, and then what do? They sell a digital book, which is a Kindle book, right? I know little grandmamas. I know of little grandmamas that are sitting in their homes and they're making six figures, putting out little 10, 15 page reports around things that interest them, like recipes and things like that, and home remedies and stuff like that. And so I told myself, I say, okay, oh, you got to get in here, man. You got to figure out this other part of publishing. You got video down, man, but you need to learn how to create these ebooks and things like that. And I'm gonna tell you guys what really got me over the hump or really saved me was, like I say, by this time I was a year into working with my AI. My AI was helping me develop out my software, make my software. We were making all the marketing materials, all the email swipes, all that kind of stuff. And what I started seeing was, as I was doing this, me and my AI, we were developing out a system that allowed for us to be able to create that type of content, reports, trainings. All right. And so what I told my AI one day is, I say, "Hey, Vic," I said, "let's try to create this right here." And we took the frameworks that we were using to create all the marketing materials and things like that that I was going to use for my selling my software and stuff. And we were able to produce a small training. And that's all I needed, man. That's all I needed. Because when I saw what we had produced, I said, okay, we on to something. And so we have been working on creating graphics and, like I say, trainings and just documentation, put it like that, for me to be able to take into these businesses or send these businesses or using my inside of my funnels and stuff. And so I knew we know how to put together the information. But when I saw us sit down and we put together that first micro training, it was on, man. It was on. So I sat down with my AI, man. I started working with my AI. And and if you ever did anything with AI, man, you have to literally, it's like you're working with another person. Y'all feed off each other. You teach your AI teach you. But we developed out a system and a framework to be able to go out there and either scan the marketplace and identify what was working, bring the data back, audit it, organize it, and then decide on what we needed to keep, what we needed to throw away, and then what we needed to add to it in order to turn that into a framework or a training that we would want to put out. All right. And we learned all that. All right. And then, you know, me, the way I do things, I'm like, okay, I'm researching the industry. I'm like, man, with digital products like this, we can go out and do the work one time and we can set up automated systems and we could just put that baby in motion. And that literally become almost like a semi-passive income stream. And we could just keep firing those up. And when I started looking at it, I started saying, okay, this is the business, man. Because think about this. In my publishing business, it's all about teaching, right? It's all about teaching something. Okay. And so right now we focus mostly on content. All right. And I'm like, this is like perpetual. It never ends because people are always going to be looking to want to learn something. All right. They're going to always be looking to get better at something. And when I started looking at the industry, like right now, the e-learning space does over $1.5 billion in business every single day. And by the year of 2035, it's supposed to top $1 trillion. Now, this is the crazy thing about this whole e-learning space. A lot of that $1.5 billion is not even moving through traditional channels like online schools, e-learning platforms that are owned and controlled by schools and entities and stuff like that. A lot of that money is going through the veins of everyday men and women. See, this is what a lot of people didn't realize when it came to publishing. All right, first of all, there was a revolution in publishing. All right, we moved from physical to digital. That's the first thing. All right, then we did about 15 years of people figuring out that game. So people went out and sold ebooks, they sold courses, they sold reports, they did it all. All right. And a lot of people got rich, and a lot of people are still getting rich off this. Okay. But what really made it a game changer is when AI came above. So now, as a independent publisher, I have the equivalent of a full staff of AI staff members inside of Vic, because Vic has multiple personalities, right? Or multiple personas is what I like to call it. All right. So he's a copywriter, he's an editor, he's a writer, he's a graphic designer. And this is the thing. When I started really understanding what the demand was in the marketplace with training and how to information and things like that, and I started seeing what I could produce with my AI and how me and my AI we could build out systems that would allow me to be able to launch and run a publishing company without any physical employees. I would be able to leverage AI and technology to do it. Everything from ideals to research to writing to everything. I saw what we call the arbitrage opportunity. There was a huge demand over here in a lot of different spaces, a lot of different categories, a lot of different niches. People want to learn something. They want to get in and learn it and don't have to spend the time bumping their heads, right? And then I saw what AI allows you to produce. And no, I said it's game on. I say it's game on because there's going to be a lot of money made helping people figure out a solution to problems that they have. And that's basically what my publishing company does. So we put our heads down. We took about, I lose count now because I moved from one, like I'll work on projects, then I'll jump into the next thing. But I think we spent probably about a good 5 to 7 months figuring out how to create these trainings and these courses and stuff. But when we came out on the other side, I came out, check this out, guys. I now have IP, which is intellectual property. I now have, I think we're at 20 courses and trainings and frameworks that I own and control. Now, I could have had way more than that, but we stopped to focus on building out the quality of everything and for me to focus on the next piece of the puzzle. But guys, what I learned over that course of 7 months when I was creating those 20 courses and frameworks and trainings is worth a lifetime to me. Because, guys, I want you to understand this. With running a digital publishing company, you get to do some really, really cool things. First of all, you can create income streams at will. All right? You can create income streams at will. You can run your business from anywhere in the world because everything is bits and bytes, is all digital, right? But now, if you're operating in a space like me to where you're creating how to information, then you always have a way to eat because there's always something that you know, or something that you can learn, or something that you can research, or something that you can find, something that somebody else know that you can package up and it will be a solution to somebody's problem. And the person on the other end will be willing to pay you so they don't have to figure it out from the ground up. Like right now, guys, like right now, I've invested in the last year and a half, I've invested in one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, I think it's 8 different training platforms I have invested money into myself. Even though I made over 20 courses, I bought licensing rights to another 8 training programs and platforms over the last year and a half. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Because the things that I make at Creative Vibe in my publishing company are based off of what I know, and they're based off of what we research, me and my AI team. All right. That's what we made. But when I went out and invested in other training platforms, other training programs, I was able to go out and gain control of what somebody else knew. So now that ceiling became my floor. It's not about what I know no more. And that's the key, guys. That's the key. See, I am not somebody who's a guru or somebody that knows things that I'm turning around and saying, okay, I'm going to teach you now what I know. That's not what this is. I'm a publishing company. So just like you see them books over there, just like you see them books over there, I operate just like a traditional publishing company. I might look up and say, okay, well, AI is big right now. I want to put out 3 or 4 titles this year on AI. Then I got to decide on how I want to approach that. Do I want to talk about AI with business or AI and productivity or whatever? All right. And then I'll go through the process of figuring out how we're going to approach that. And then we'll start creating and writing it. We'll start creating and writing it. And that's how we produce our curriculum. That's how we make our publications and stuff. Okay. So just like a traditional publishing company. But the difference is that my publishing company is digital. With my publishing company, due to hold on a minute, guys. I'm on a live. Did you need something? All right. Sorry about that, guys. So my publishing company now with technology, with software, with AI, I get to run and operate my publishing company from the comfort of my home, and I don't have to depend on anybody for anything. Everything from ideal to research to compiling the information to setting up the marketing systems and the funnels. Hold on one second, guys. And the marketing systems and the funnels and things like that. I do it all here. I do it all here, guys. In this, and that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. I was thinking about this the other day. I get up in the morning, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how you pull money out of her. I'm gonna show you guys. Okay, hold on one second. Let me get something right. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over here, and we're gonna pull it. And I'm just gonna show you how this works, man. And this is one of the things that when I finally saw this, I said, okay, this is nuts. This is bananas, man. This is crazy. Okay. So what I did was, if you guys follow me for a while, I built a library of physical books. I had over 3,000 books in my library. I just recently got rid of almost all the books. I gave the library space to my wife as an office, and I still have about 200 and something books that I have in here. I kept all my best books because over the last 5 years, I had started moving digital with everything. So I got a lot of digital books, a lot of courses, audios, and things like that. So I kept all of my foundational books that I love by the greats, right? But this is what I was discovering in that library. When I was out there hand picking all those books and I was buying them, because it took me almost 5 years to compile that library. And I bought every book individually. I went out to bookstores, Goodwills, and I bought them off of Amazon. All right. But every time I got a book, all right, and then let me tell you, when I bought books, guys, 95% of my books was always used. Or only 5% was new. Only time I bought them new was when they first came out and I wanted to get them. But if they had been out a while, I would just buy them used online. All right. But this is the thing. This is one thing I understood when I started getting these books, guys. I want you to understand this. When it comes to you being successful in your marriage, your life, your health, your finances, or whatever, most of the time, what a lot of people are missing is just a couple things. They're missing the information, all right, the knowledge, all right, and then they're missing the framework of how to execute, right? Now, once they start developing the skill and the framework on how to execute, then you create a repeatable system. That's what a framework is, right? So once you learn how to start executing, you say, okay, well, now I got that part down, Pat. You said, or if I was missing the information, right? And this is what I learned about information in books. I could spend Now this book, let's say if I bought it brand new, it probably would have cost me. Well, he got a price back. It would have cost me $11.95 brand new. The Financial Matrix by Orr Woodward. All right, I could spend $11 and I can go and download somebody else's lifetime worth of experiences and knowledge for $11. Really think about that. So when I said that there's usually only two reasons why we're not successful at any endeavor that we're putting our hands to. One is our execution and our frameworks, doing it. But the second thing is knowing what to do, right? And if you go out there and you learn how to create frameworks that you can repeat that would get you to execute on information, then it's just a matter of information, right? So when I was building that library downstairs, man, I was looking at them books, man, and I was like, man, I told my wife, I said, it's so crazy because there is enough information and knowledge. I was telling her there's enough information and knowledge. Give me a minute, guys. Inside of my library where I should never have a problem. I should never have a problem making any money, saving any money. But let me ask you a question. Why do a lot of us have access to all the information? Somebody that went out there and figured it out for us. Why do we have access to all the information, but a lot of us still live below our potential? We're not doing what we wanted to do. And this is what I discovered, and this is why I jumped into the publishing game. First of all, I understood that this author, he could create this publication and he could share with the world what he had figured out. So the information worked for him. So he go use the information, he blesses his life, he builds his life, but now he can get compensated for turning around and sharing that information with others. So he would sit down and work one time, make it once, and he would get paid over and over and over and over and over again for this information. I said, that's powerful. Now he could take this book and turn it into a course. So he could charge $11.95 for the book, but now the course he might charge $500 for because it's a different format. It's videos, things like that, or it's more in-depth information. He might turn this into a mastermind, a coaching thing. You understand? Whatever. All right. He might turn into something that he gets paid $50 a month off of, and that's some type of membership or subscription. But the whole thing was that once he made this, he can make money off it over and over and over and over and over again for years. And I told myself, I said, okay, I want to be in that business model there. I want to be in there. Then the second thing that I told myself when I was looking at this whole publishing game, I said, okay, so let me get this right. These people go out here and they work hard and they figure something out and they make money. All right. And then they keep studying and they keep working hard and they keep figuring out something. They make more money. So now these individuals are getting wealthy off of leveling up in their lives and helping other people level up in their lives. And once they learned how to create the information, it was a repeatable system. They could do it over and over again. There are some authors out there that have 20, 30 books, 20 or 30 courses, 20 or 30 income streams. And so when I looked at the landscape last year when I started the publishing company, I was like, man, okay, so I'm gonna run that game. I'm gonna run that game there. I'm gonna get into the publishing business, but I'm not gonna do physical books. All right, I'm gonna do digital. And so I put in place what I need to do. And then I told my wife, I said, look, I said, I'm gonna put my head down for a while. I'm not gonna be doing a lot. I'm just gonna be focused. And I think I spent about 6 to 7 months and I figured out that game, man. We pumped out over 20 courses and trainings. All right. So we came out of there with the courses and training. All right. And then I looked at that and I said, okay, this is it here. This is the business that I've always wanted to run. This is my legacy here. And the cool thing about that legacy is, guys, that I get paid to figure out my problems and to figure out your problems and then create a solution for it and then make that available to you in a way to where you can understand it and you can level up using it. Very, very powerful. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna show you a couple of the products that I've created, man, that I own and control. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys some that I own, and then I'm gonna show you some that I control because I think right now, Creative Vibe owns the IP to 20 courses and frameworks, and then we control, I think, like another 8 courses that we either have 100% resale rights on, or we have 85% resale rights on it. So we built it on both because I wanted to make money off of what I know and what I could research, but then I wanted to tap into what other people knew. And that's when I started investing like that. Now, even before I do that, you might be wondering, okay, well, Orville, how are you marketing these? I'm doing it very simple. I showed you guys on Facebook, and I'm going to show you again what I'm doing. But I have 2 main ways that I'm marketing right now. Okay, one way is I have a digital store that I sell some of my courses and some of my reports from. All right, and then I have a funnel. And the way I want you to look at the funnel is it's like a door to a store. So what happens with the funnel, it's just a singular focus is on this offer in this funnel. And once a person signs up for that funnel, then they go inside of that process where I introduce them to some of the other stuff in there. Okay. All right. So makes sense. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys and I'm going to show you my digital store right now. So give me a minute and we're going to pull it up. And so publishing, I love it. Digital publishing. All right. Built multiple streams of income, can work from anywhere in the world, high leverage, high margins. You sit down, you make something, you can sell it for 10, you can sell it for 50, you can sell it for 100, you can sell it for 1,000. You could take whatever you make and you could put it inside of different forms. You could take it from a report to a full course. All right, you can make a part 1, part 2, part 3. You can go from printed to video. There's a lot of ways that you can keep making money. Right? Give me a minute. I'm gonna pull this up. Okay. Okay. So let's see. Let's see, guys. We building. All right. So let me make sure I got everything right. I've been looking at this stuff. All right. So I'm gonna share my screen with you guys, but let me pull this up first. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna go to Google first. Mhm. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you some of my digital stores. But then I'm gonna go back and show you guys where I've been just injecting this on Facebook. A lot of you, if you follow me on Facebook, you're probably seeing it, but you're not seeing it. And a lot of times that's the way it works. The people that see it, and the people that don't. All right, all right. So give me a minute. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys, so you should be looking at my handsome face there. All right, so that's the first we're gonna do. We're gonna go to my store. All right, so if you go to www.microecom.com, that's gonna take you over to my digital store. All right, so this is what we're going to look at first. Okay, so I'm going to show you what you're looking at. So this is how it looks on desktop. All right, but then if you're on mobile, it looks different. It looks like kind of like this on a tablet. And that screen show jump back out. It's like I don't want to stay like that. So it kind of looks like this on a tablet and mobile. It's straight up and down. Okay, and that's the reason why I like working with Stan Store. All right, it's a platform that allows creators to go out and create digital products and sell them. Okay, so this is my e-commerce store. So you go over to microecom.com and you're going to come here. Now I'm going to show you what you're going to see here. So when you see this right here, these 4 here, these are free reports that I'm giving away. And I give away free reports to build lists. All right, to build a email list. Okay, so that's what that is. But then in most of my reports, I have some type of upsell or some type of connection to something that I sell. So like when somebody does the list for me, let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see something here. I think I saw it here. Was it here? Or was it in downloads? I was going to try to show you the list formula. I think it might have been, I just saw it. Oh, I know where it's at. It's in here. I think I got them in here. Let's see. Oh, it's not in here. Thought it was in here. All right, it's not in here. I was going to try to show you guys those free reports. I got them here. I could download one for you because we're gonna show you guys. Let me switch back over to so you guys can look at my face. Can't have you looking at all my logins and stuff. Okay. Try to keep all that kind of stuff private, man. You guys, y'all like to look too much, man. Let me make sure that you guys ain't seeing nothing. Gotta make sure that that's okay. So give me a minute, guys. I'm gonna log in and download a couple of those reports so you guys can see them. All right. They're on the server for the store. All right, so let's go in. Let's pull this one first. We'll do this one. All right, so this is yep. We'll do this one here. So we go to product. We go down. Download. So we're gonna have that one open. Now we're gonna go back to Stan Store. We're gonna do this one here. All right, give me 1 minute. All right, so we're gonna download this one here. All right, so I should be able to come out of this one. Okay. All right, so let me go back and share my screen with you guys, man. All right, so you guys should be back looking at my digital store. Okay. So remember I was talking about this one here. All right, this is one. I'm gonna show you what that looks like. So this is it here. So when a person puts their first name and email address in, all right, they get redirected, and this is sent to them by email. This is called the list formula. So this is a free report that I put together where I talk to the person about why they should build an email list, how to build an email list using Stan Store, and then how you will make money with that list. And I get us away free. All right. So that's a free report that I give away to build a list. Okay. Now, this is what you'll find in this report, though. If you click here, that's going to take you over to one of those products I didn't create, but one of the products I control. So I have 100% resale rights on this. So this is a community and a training platform that I sell that was made by this millionaire over here and her husband, Heather Ostry. All right. And so that costs $397. And I take this back. I do 85% on this one. So whenever I sell one of these, the Heather gets 15% and I keep 85%. And I didn't have to make anything. And it's like a 3,500 person community, really good training. It teaches you different business models. And so that's what that free ebook does. So one of it sends you to that course there. Now another thing that it does too is, let's go down here. All right, we're going to click here. It sends you back here to my store. All right, for you to be able to go buy something. Okay. And then I have another link in here also too. I think it's this one here. Where if you go here, it sends you here for you to be able to sign up for Stan Store. And I'm an affiliate for Stan Store. So every time one of my leads sign up for that, I earn a commission off of that. Okay. And that's all inside of that free ebook that I give away. Okay. So I want you guys to see that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you back over here and I'm going to show you something else. All right. So now I have 4 of those lead magnets, 4 things that you can get for free for me and sign up for my list. Then when you move down here, I have some of my courses that I have down here. Now, most of my courses are done in course format, no videos, all printed, but you have to log in and go through them like that, the modules. But I have one that I set up as an ebook. So it has almost like 4 I think it's 4 or 5 micro frameworks and trainings that we put inside here to make this ebook. All right. I don't call it a course because it's an ebook format, but it literally is a course. So when a person comes here, what they'll do is they'll click on here, and that takes them over to my sales page. And every last one of my courses have its own unique landing and sales page. So here's a video that I created talking about the course. And then as you scroll down, this is a sales page where it'll tell the potential customer what they can expect, what they're going to get out of this training, all the bonuses and stuff like that. That's everything there. And guys, now check this out. This is all automated. Once we created the course and we set this up, I don't even do anything with this. I promote that master link. And then somebody comes over here, they buy. Now this is even cool too, guys, because I sell this course, this ebook for $50. And that's nothing. So most people could pay that. But now if somebody comes over here and they can't pay for it, I understand the economy's bad, people on hard times. They come over here, click on Afterpay or Klarna, and they can make payments on that. They'll break it down to like 5 payments of $12 a month. All right, or for whatever months to equal up to $50-something plus that little interest. They'll do it like that. So I got that set up on all my checkout pages. So that's another thing that positions me to be able to close a lot of business because I make it easy for people to buy. Okay, so that's there. Now I'm gonna show you what that particular one looks like. That's here. Launch the Content Creators Blueprint. There's that blueprint on how anyone can launch a digital business online in as little as 48 hours. Now, it took us a while to make this one because we had to go in, do the research, figure out what we were going to put in here. And then we had to start compiling the information. But this is the thing, guys. We did it in chunks. So this one here came out to be 210 pages. Now, again, I told you we put about 5 different micro courses inside her, 5 different trainings that we put in here to make this one. Right? Really, really good. Anybody can get this, man, and they can literally start doing what it is that I say I'm doing right now. You can literally launch your own publishing company. Mostly everybody has something that they know that they can turn around and create a quick 3-page, 5-page report on that people will pay for. If not, I teach you how to go out and do research or to go out and do like I did with that course, become an affiliate and make money off what somebody else knows. But this here is going to teach you how to create content, how to post your content, how to make information products while you want to be in the e-learning space. I mean, it's a really, really good course, guys. All right. And it's only $50, man. So you get to download and access all that research and stuff that we did, right? But now here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing on this. And this is what I was telling you guys here. Why I love this. Okay. So not only can you purchase that and I make $50, and it's all automated, guys. It's all automated. I don't have to do anything with it. It's all automated. Once we made it, all we do is share the link. All right. But now let's say, for instance, you buy it and you get jump in there and you say, okay, Orville, I like this, I like this. I'm going to be able to take the content that I'm already putting on social media and I can start dropping this link around there and I can make some money, man. I can create my own product, Orville, but I can't create it now. I gotta create it. It's gonna take me a while. That's okay because I already thought of you. So I built in that ebook and that course, A Business in a Box. Let me explain to you what I'm talking about. So with all my courses, once you purchase the course, I have an affiliate program on the other side of it. And that's where I would pay you a commission for every person you send to my store that makes a purchase. I would cash you out 50%. So now if I'm charging $50 for that ebook there that you're looking at, that course, and you're going to make $25 off of every one, you literally can take that link that I'm going to give you and that opportunity and turn that into a side hustle or even a full-time income. And you never have to make a product. You literally could just go in and invest in the courses that I created. So you can get the courses, but then you can get access to my affiliate program. Every last one of my courses, I have a 50% commission that I pay through the affiliate program once you purchase the course. So not only can you learn the things that you learn from the course, from the ebook curve, from my courses, but then you also get to make money. That's what I love about publishing. And guess what, man? I can create these courses and these products at will. And I'm gonna show you one of the easiest ways of doing it. Remember, I say in inside of this course here, all right, inside of this ebook here, 210 pages, cost you $50. I break the whole game down to you. All right. Everything that I'm doing, everything that the other people are doing out here to make money with content and with information. Okay. It's all here. Right. You're going to learn the whole game. All right. But guess what? Guess how you keep making these? You keep making these because you keep running into problems that you have that you got to find a solution for. And when you find a solution for yourself, you turn around and compile that solution for somebody else. Now, how do I find solutions? I ask people, I figure things out as I'm experimenting and trying to do things, or I do this here. I go over to my libraries, all right, my books and stuff I have, and I'll sit down and I'll start studying. Let me show you this. All right, I'm gonna show you the power of something, guys. These two books here, all right, if you're in the marketing, they got $100 million offers, all right, $100 million leads. These were created by one of the top business gurus out there right now. This guy's the real deal, for real though. This guy, he took a chain of gyms, sold them, because he figured out he could market gyms better than he liked running them. So he sold his gyms and he launched a company called Gym Launch. And he went out there and started teaching gym owners how to turn the companies around. He's making good money doing it, making millions and millions of dollars. Joined the mastermind, a guy that was smarter than him, that was further down the road than him. Say, hey, look, man, you need to shut your gyms down. He was like, wow, my gyms are profitable, making money. He said, no, because you're better at teaching people what you've already learned. And he said, what will I do? The guy was making millions, way more than me. So he shut the gyms down and launched his company. And he went through some rough patches, but he got it figured out, right? And this guy literally built $150 million equity company where he went out and he give these books away. First of all, you see these books, man, these are books I should have paid $50, $100 for. I think I paid $10 for both of these books. All you pay for is the shipping on them. And he puts all his content out there. You can learn a lot about business and marketing from this guy. But the way he makes his big money is off of his equity. Hold on one second. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on one second. Let me see what they hitting me. Okay, I'm getting all kind of. All right. Okay. All right, guys, we're gonna have to end this. I gotta go pick the wife up. But let me finish breaking this down to you guys. Okay. So give me a minute, guys. So anyway, so anyway, um, I tapped into Alex Hormozi. All right, here's a guy who went out, did this, built $150 million equity company where he invests in other companies and stuff. All right, he just came out with a third book that I still got to buy, guys. A third book that I still got to buy. Now, when I tell you how much this guy, let me pull up because I'm gonna show you guys, so you guys don't even think I'm bored. Okay, how much? Okay, because I want to make sure I get the amount right. And this was in one day. Okay, but I'm gonna pull this number up here. Okay, and I'm gonna show you the screen so you guys can see it, so you can see I'm not bull. And this is what selling information and selling a solution to a problem. Once you go out there, you establish your credibility, and you really can do what you say you do, and you can create this. But I'm not, never gonna get nowhere near this. But I'm just telling you, this is how you learn things, right? You plug into people who know more than you. Okay, and then you turn around and you teach people who know less than you. All right, so let me show you this. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. Okay, so I went in and put into Google, and their AI pulled up. I said, how much did Alex Hormozi make off his latest launch? He just put out a new book called $100 Million Money Models. Now, it was a book and it was some upsells that went all the way up to like 6,000, some trainings and some courses and stuff. But do you guys see how much this guy generated in revenue in 72 hours? $105 million, guys, selling information products. $105 million. Now, the thing I want to ask you guys, why do you think them people were willing to spend $105 million, all right, on buying his books? Because the information that he researches and compiles fixes their problems. And a lot of people have made a ton of money in their businesses and turned their businesses around using his systems and his information. That's why people are willing to spend that amount of money on some books. All right. So now, as a publisher, this is the simple system right here, guys. All right. You keep going out learning, you keep fixing your problems, and then you take that solution for you, you package it, and you sell it to somebody else who has a problem that you have. You learn from the people above you, and you teach the people below you. Does that make sense? You learn from the people who are further ahead than you, and you teach the people who you're further ahead. That's how you run a publishing business. That's why I started a publishing business, guys. I love it. Orville J. Parker, a.k.a. Coach. All right, guys, make sure you go check out my information. If you're sitting there, you say, Orville, look, man, that sounds good, man. I need to figure out how to get these skills to start launching me some income streams, some business, some things I own and control. You know, I like my boss, but I hate my boss. I hate my coworkers. I don't like going to work. I don't like somebody having control of my life. I don't like having more money than month at the end of the month. I need to change. Well, I got two solutions for you. One is, if you want to do it yourself, you can go over to microecom.com, www.microecom.com. I put together some very, very good trainings and courses that would teach you how to start building out the skill sets that you need to start trying to create you things. And even if you don't want to build anything right now, you can make money just marketing my courses. You can do that. Get paid 50%. Okay? But now if you say, okay, well, look, I don't want to do that, man. I want somebody already else created me a product, created me a system. I just want to get in and plug and play. Well, I'm going to invite you to go over to learndigitaltoday.com. That's a community and a platform that I plugged into 1.5 years ago. It's 55,000 of us in that community. And that's where I learned so much from. That's where I was exposed to the picture, right? Where I was able to see what people can do, how much you can make off of publishing and selling information. And I'm going to advise you to go over there and check out the information that me and my business partners put together. We walk you through a whole process. We break that down to you. And then we show you how to get started. And again, over there, just like with my other one, if you look up, you say, okay, well, Orville, I just don't have enough to invest in that right now. That's okay, because I got payment plans over there for you. All right, so already set up for you. And literally what I wanted to do was remove the excuse from anybody who really wanted to execute. All right, remember we said there's two things that you lack. That's why we don't get what we want. We don't have the knowledge, which is the information. We get that from training and courses and books and things like that. And then we don't execute. We don't have the framework to execute. Well, if you go to that learndigitaltoday.com or you go to that microecom.com, both of those I put together frameworks already. All you got to do is go do what we show you how to do in those. All right. Orville J. Parker, a.k.a. Coach. Thanks you guys for checking out the live. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, and I'll catch you guys on next one. God bless.